I'm Carolina Pasella, and I play softball, and I'm a pitcher, and I play outfield. So my dad comes into my room, he's like, hey, want to go outside and practice? And I was like, yeah, sure. I had a tournament coming up, and I felt really confident going into this tournament because the day before, I hit like 4 home runs over the fence. I was going good, like, you know, I was throwing screwballs, I was throwing fastballs, and so changeup I was working on. It was a little iffy, and I go to throw my changeup, and my knee just gave out. I lost balance, and my knee basically went backwards. So I went to the doctor, and she was like, you know, it's a sprained MCL. We're gonna go through 6 weeks of PT, you'll come back, you'll feel great. And then I went to practice. I went to go throw a ball to third base, and then my knee gave out again. So I get an MRI, and it turns out I had a torn ACL and cracked meniscus. I would probably sit up at night looking at my wall just thinking like, God, like, what do I do? Like, how do I move forward? My depression and anxiety started getting worse. Softball was my escape. So I'd kind of just sit there and be like, why me? Why was I the one that had this injury? I remember the first doctor's appointment where he was like, okay, like, you're doing great. We're gonna send you off to Myokinetix. The first day I came in, I was seeing this big football player. He had to be a football player, you know, doing sled pushes with like, it had to be like 500 pounds. And I was like, hello, you think I can push 500 pounds? Like, that is really funny. I had Natty, and he's like, okay, we're gonna do sled pushes today. And I was like, oh, the 500 pounds, you mean that? And he's like, no, like, it's not gonna be that bad. My legs were pretty weak. I was still trying to build that up and build up my strength. And I ended up leaving Myokinetix with my legs being twice as strong as when I came in. I would always do softball, 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 softball. But I kind of realized that I can't just do softball all the time and expect me to be strong. So a lot of it is going to the gym and, you know, focusing on those tiny little knickknacks and ligaments and all those things, and involving my hips and my glutes and all of that into being able to do what I'm doing. And I remember Matt telling me, like, you know, your off season isn't just about softball. And then when I realized, like, it's not all about softball. It's about getting stronger to be able to go and produce that into your season. And I expected PT to be some like chill, like, okay, like, we're just gonna move your leg, like, it's just gonna be some like easy thing. And yeah, like, okay, there we go. Like, you know, I did my movements for the day. But when I came in and going out of it sweating, I was like, okay, it's definitely doing something. And I expected it to just be, you know, chill time, but when you come in here and you get pushed, you know that you can push yourself. I remember, like, back when I was like, you know, recovery, I was like, I want to pitch, like, come on. And I remember them telling me, like, Caroline, like, you need to get that out of your head. Like, you're gonna pitch like in like months. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get it out of my head. So I remember going to Willis, and he was like, yeah, like, you can start pitching. And I was like, what? Like, just like, tell me that again. So I remember going to my first lesson, and I was there, and I've never seen myself throw this fast ever in my life. I can't take things for granted anymore because I'm back playing softball, and I never thought I would be back playing softball in my life. But the fact that I'm out there and I'm going back to team practices and playing with my team right now is one of the best things ever. So with recovery, well, my recovery was 1.5 years, so it was very long recovery. But in that recovery, there was a lot of ups and downs and bumps in the road, and like times where you felt like you were drowning in water and didn't know how to come out. That formed me to have to basically rebuild my whole entire self. I had to rebuild myself into a workout journey. And before this all happened, I was actually at a private school, and I came back to my hometown, which is New Providence, and I was really excited for that season. I was really excited for playing, and then this whole thing happened. So that kind of redefined myself as a person. It told me, like, you never know when your last chance is at something big, but you can always get there. You can always take that first step, and that first step always comes with you. And to redefine me, I went and I took that step. I took whatever chance was gonna be thrown at me because I wanted to get back on that field. I wanted to show my softball friends, which are basically my family, whatever happened, I was gonna do it because I was dedicated as an athlete and I was dedicated to get to that step. As an athlete, sometimes you'll end up doing it for your team or doing it for your coaches or doing it for someone else. But I realized like going through this injury is a lot of doing it for yourself. And it honestly didn't click until I came to Myokinetix. I never really felt happy about going to PT because it was it felt like another oomph, like I had to get strength to actually go. And then when I came to Myokinetix, it was like, okay, wait, this is actually kind of fun. I can actually be myself and I can vibe with everyone here. It's actually nice. I remember just sitting at the table in Myokinetix and I was like, you know what, this is a new path. I'm gonna do this for me now and show myself that, you are enough and that you are capable of doing whatever you think you can't do because you need to take that step. And the only step that I can take is by me being able to do that.